Have you just started trading and you've created your own system, you've back tested it, you've created and developed your own trading plan, you've gone to trade live, and all of a sudden you've gone on a massive losing streak, which has caused you a loss of self-belief and doubt in your own trading abilities? Well, look no further, because today we're going to be discussing how to deal with a losing streak and how to come out the other side an even better trader. What's going on, guys? My name's Thomas. I'm a currency trader, and I too have just gone through a huge losing streak in my own personal trading. I started the month of October 0 and 9. I took 9 losing traders in a row, and so far I've turned that around and I'm now positive for the month of October. Now, how have I done this? So I've gone through a drawdown of over 10% in less than 2 weeks and turned that around to become a positive month, all in a matter of a couple of weeks' time. Well, today we're going to be discussing step by step how I did this, how I got through it. Now, losses and losing streaks are a part of trading. It's something you need to understand, that no one is ever perfect when it comes to trading, and these type of streaks are expected. Now, the way to be able to get through this and shift your mindset when it comes to taking losers is the way that you think about your losses. Now, your losses in trading, you just need to think of them as a business expense. They're a cost of doing business and they're a cost of trading. You're not going to have an 100% win ratio and everything, so you've got to expect losses, and sometimes you have to expect these losses one after the other. You know, it can be emotionally draining taking losing trade after losing trade. And
so long, losers!
You know, 9 trades in a row was pretty substantial and one of my largest losing streaks, if not the largest losing streak I've ever had. So it was something that I hadn't gone through personally before. Obviously, during my testing, I've had these type of losing streaks, but to take it on live accounts, and you know, I'm currently going for a challenge with Lark, and I've got my own funded account with FTMO as well as my own personal account. It was pretty damaging and it hurt emotionally going through this type of period, but get through this and what I can actually learn from myself and from my own trading during these times. So the first way to be able to get through these streaks is controlling your emotions. Now, emotions will get involved when it comes to massive losing streaks, the same way it does when you're going on a winning run. So the way to become a successful trader is to remove emotions from your trading. Emotions and trading psychology should have absolutely nothing to do with what you do and what trades you get involved with. And the easiest way to think and get through this is, and it was in a book I recommended in a previous video, and one of the most famous trading books, but One Good Trade by Mike Bellafiore. Now, Mike discusses in this book taking one good trade after one good trade, and he discusses and defines one good trade as a trade that meets your trading plan. Now, a good trade doesn't need to be a winning trade, it can be a losing trade, but it's a trade that you should have been involved in. It's one that follows your rules. And what we find, and what I've done in the past as well, is when I go through these losing streaks, I question everything that comes with my trading. I question every setup, looking for that perfect setup on any opportunity, where even if it meets my rules, I may be scared to get involved with it because it's not the perfect setup when it comes to the way I trade. But you just need to follow your plan. If that trade follows your rules in your plan, you need to get yourself involved with it. You can't just take the perfect trades every time, because not every perfect trade is going to be a winner. Just continue on taking one good trade after one good trade, and if you have a profitable system and you have the edge in your favor, over time, you're going to be able to turn that losing streak around, just like I've done this month. And that's the whole point of having a trading plan. The trading plan should be there to remove any emotions from the way that you trade. You should have a defined trading plan that runs through step by step exactly what you should be doing with each individual trade. And this will ensure that you keep yourself on track during winning streaks and also during the hard times and losing streaks. And this comes to my second tip, which is trade your plan and plan your trades. Every trade that you get involved with should be monotonous. You should have a system in place that you run through, checklist maybe, which is what I personally have. I have a checklist that I go through and basically tick off everything that's involved with every individual trade. When you do go through a losing streak, you will be low in confidence, so it's important to have that system and the plan written down that you can follow through step by step to make sure that what you're doing and what you're getting involved with does follow your plans, and it should be trades that you do enter. Because what I found in the past is when things go bad, things go really bad. I remember a past losing streak I took, and this is when I was a pretty novice trader. I took a couple of losses in a row, and it got to the point where I was even just taking the completely wrong order sizes. So instead of taking a 2% risk on a trade, I took the wrong amount of lot size and ended up taking a 20% risk and lost 20% of my personal account. So when things go bad, things go bad. So that's why it's important to have your plan in place, to have a checklist that you go through for each trade to ensure that you don't make any silly errors, which can cost you thousands of dollars. Now, my next tip, and it's probably my most important tip and something that really helped me get through my recent losing streak, was to know your numbers. The whole point of backtesting is to understand how the system has run in the past. Understand what your maximum drawdown is, or what the most amount that particular system lost at any particular time. I know for my system, my maximum drawdown is 24%. So this means that if I take a 20% loss during a particular time, this is within the realms of my system. It's not something that I shouldn't be expecting. It's something that's within the system. It's something that I've tested before and something that's come up in the past. So it's expected to come up more than likely again in the future. It's times when you exceed your maximum drawdown through your back testing is when you should be nervous and should be really looking into what you're getting involved with, because if you're exceeding your maximum drawdown, then there might be something wrong with the trade you're getting involved with, and you may actually not be following your plan to a T. So that's when you should be nervous, but know your numbers and know exactly what the maximum drawdown you've had in any particular time, as well as your longest losing streak. Understand what your longest losing streak was in the past, because losing streaks will happen more often than not, so it's important to understand what you've achieved in the past result-wise and what you've had to go through in the past with losing streaks and drawdown. And on top of this, a simple win-to-loss ratio is important. I know off my own trading, I actually lose more often than I win. My win ratio is about 46%, so I actually expect that each trade I'm going to be more than likely be a loss, but I know that when I do return a winner, I'll win a lot more than when I lose on those losing trades. Alright, so the next thing to consider when going through a losing streak is to flip the switch and flip your mindset on what you're actually going through. Losing streaks can be some of your best opportunities to really knuckle down and understand your system and see if there's any ways you can actually improve what you're doing. Is there any patterns with these losses that you've taken that you may be able to look and maybe retest over your system to see if you can actually make what you're doing more profitable? Is there some sort of indicator or something that happens on these particular trades and a pattern that occurs that would actually make your system a more profitable system? So really flip the switch and spend your time analyzing the trades that you've taken and those losing trades to see if there's any special occurrence or pattern that continues to happen on these trades that you can maybe make your system that you trade in an even better and more profitable trading system. Now, I've really spent the time looking and analysing these 9 trades that I took this month, and there is something in particular with my own system that I'm going to now go back and retest and go through my backtesting data to see if I remove these particular trades that align a certain way, is it actually going to make it a more profitable system? So you really need to flip and change your understanding of what you're going through during these losing streaks. And my very last tip, and it's something that I normally don't recommend, is to take a break and take some time away from the charts. Now, the reason I normally don't recommend doing this is because typically and more often than not, if you go through a losing streak, there's going to be a streak of winners that occur after this losing streak. And my own trading was a great example. I took 9 losing trades in a row and I took 4 massive winners directly after that, back to back to back to back, and it's resulted in a profitable month for October so far. So although you may be struggling emotionally and it can be quite damaging going through these streaks, you need to understand that you probably are going to go through some sort of winning streak after it. So these times can be some of the worst times to be stopping and stepping away from the charts, because you may be missing out on some of the biggest trades you might have for the year. Although if you are at those points where you've exceeded your maximum drawdown, then this is the times when I would recommend to step away from the charts to really go through and analyze your trades and see what you've done wrong to be able to go through such a substantial drawdown. So that's it, guys. That's my tips in regards to how to get through a losing streak, how to become out the other side an even better trader, and how to control your emotions during this time. Losing streaks are going to happen. They're more often not going to happen more than once a year. I know personally I go through about 3 a year of these type of substantial losing streaks. So don't be afraid when these do come up. Follow your plan, control your emotions, and use this time to analyze your trades to see if you can create an even better system and become an even better trader. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you really did enjoy the video, please make sure you smash that like button down below, hit subscribe. Thank you so much again. I look forward to seeing you next time.